Have you ever started sewing and everything seems to be going wrong? Hey guys, I'm Tammy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share 3 different sewing machine problems and how you can fix them easily. I've been sewing for about 6 years now and I know how frustrating it can be when you just don't know how to fix the problem you're having. So I'm going to show you on my sewing machine behind me. You notice I'll have 2. The blue one is a much more advanced one, and then I have my beginner friendly machine, the first one that I bought, and I'll be showing you how to fix these on this machine because it's probably really similar to the one you might have at home. So let me go over to my sewing machine and show you how to fix them. So this is a sewing machine that I'm going to be showing you how to fix the problems that you might have at home. This is the Brother LS14S. It was my first sewing machine and it still works perfectly fine today. So the first problem that I want to talk about is when you have your stitching turn out like this. So from the right side, the stitches look pretty normal, but from the wrong side, you can see these loops of fabric, these little tiny loops that are coming up and it's not stitching correctly. You can see this one's quite high, those loops. This one you can see there are some, but it's not as bad. And then the bottom one is how it really should be looking. Now the reason why this happens is because the tension on your sewing machine is off. So let me show you how I would fix this. Now once your machine is threaded correctly, we now want to check the tension on the sewing machine. So this dial here is using the stitch length. If I just go to a normal one, which is a straight stitch, for me it's number 8 over here, we're going to play with this one right here. Now the biggest reason why you get these thread loops on your seam when you've sewn something is because of this tension dial right here. The reason why that example did that is because my tension was set to 0, so it's way too low. Now normally tension will depend on what fabric type you're using as well, but generally you always want to set it between 4 and 5. And you can even see that because on this machine, it's got these 2 lines which kind of indicate this is the normal settings for you to use. Now again, depending on what fabric you're using, you can play around with the setting because you might need to go higher or lower, but in general, you always want to set it between 5, 4, and in this case 3. So on this example right here, these top 2, I think that was 0 tension, that was maybe 2, and then this one was 4. So you can see what a difference that makes when you have the tension dial on the wrong setting. Again, right here, I did a zigzag stitch on my sewing machine, and you can see from the right side, they both look pretty good, but from the wrong side, you can see this one has this kind of strange shape that it's creating, and also you can see the top thread is coming through from the back, and that's again because I had the tension way too low. I think I had it at 0 or 1, and then on this one it's looking really nice and neat, and I had the tension set to 4. So another problem you might be having is from the right side, this looks pretty okay, but on the wrong side, when you turn it over, you can see that this thread is all tangled and it's made quite a big mess. And that's also known as the bird's nest that happens when you're sewing. One of the key things again to check when this happens is that your machine is threaded correctly, but also when you want to start sewing, you want to hold the thread at an angle, and I'll show you exactly how to do this in a moment. So the real first thing you want to do when there's any problem with your sewing machine is actually rethread your machine. So on this one, if I take the thread out, on this specific machine, you need to put the thread over the section here. And then in this section over here, I have to go into that little U section, and then I need to follow down this curve, go underneath like that, and then there should be a little lever that comes up. You need to turn the hand wheel on your machine, and as I do that, you should see a little lever come up like that. And then you want to go around, make sure it catches around that lever, come all the way down here, and then go ahead and thread your needle. You'll also notice there's a little section here. You want to catch the thread on that bit, like so, and then you want to go ahead and thread the needle. And then once you've threaded your needle, you want to push it into this groove in the presser foot and push it back. Like so. You also want to have a nice tail. Now on this specific sewing machine, the bobbin is up here. Sometimes some bobbins can end up being down here, but on the Brother it's always up here. So if I just open this out, I want to make sure my bobbin's in correctly. So let me just take that out. And again, you want to have a bit of a tail on your bobbin like this. Push it into the machine and make sure it catches on that little metal lever in there. Then if you get your upper thread and hold it, you turn the hand wheel, and as you do that, it will catch the bobbin thread, and if you pull it, you should be able to slide the bobbin thread out from up here. So as you can see, it's come up between the feed dogs, and now the bobbin thread is on the top of the machine. It's no longer here. So again, you just want to pull these both to the back and put your plate back on. So right here I've got some fabric. Whenever you're testing a seam or a stitch, you always want to make sure you're using 2 layers because that's how you're normally going to be sewing. So again, I've put it under the presser foot like this. I've lowered the presser foot, and then I'm actually going to grab these 2 pieces of thread and make sure they're back here. And also to make sure the threads don't tangle at the start, I'm actually going to hold them for 2 or 3 stitches and then I'll let go of them. So if I go ahead and sew, and then if I just raise that up and cut the thread. So this is where I just started sewing and that's where I ended. And if I turn it around, you can see the thread didn't tangle up or anything like that because I held the thread as I was putting it through the machine. So that is how you fix when you have your thread all tangling up and you don't know why that's happening. It's because you probably need to hold the thread in such a way when you first start sewing. Another one I wanted to share actually is this one right here. So from the right side, when I first started sewing, it didn't even move, it just got stuck in the machine. And from the wrong side, it looked like this, like a huge mess of tangled thread. And that's because when I threaded the machine, I threaded it incorrectly, and this is what happened. So in this case, again, you want to re-thread your machine and then it will start sewing correctly. So I just want to show you what a normal seam should sew like and feel like. So I've got 2 pieces of fabric right here to show you, and I'm going to lower my presser foot. I am going to hold the thread up here for the first couple of stitches, and as I sew, the fabric should go in nice and easy and I won't have to be pushing it or anything like that. So right there, you actually saw that when I started sewing, the upper thread accidentally came out, and that can happen for a number of reasons, but mainly because the thread that you pulled to the back wasn't quite long enough. So in this case, I'd want to raise the presser foot up, bring the needle back up, and I'll want to re-thread my needle. And again, I want to pull a nice amount of thread to the back. Hold the thread at the back and start sewing. Now, once I've done sewing, if I lift the presser foot up and I find that when I take it out, it's a bit too hard, like it's not coming out easily, it's probably because the needle is too far down. So use the hand wheel to bring the needle up and then pull it out nice and smoothly. Again, you want to cut your thread, or you can use as a little section up here, which I can use to cut the thread. And then that is what that seam looks like. It's a bit wonky, but you can see that it sews nicely from the front, and then from the back, it's nice and neat as well. And if I open it out, it's a nice secure seam. So if you're completely new to sewing, I did do a back stitch at the beginning and the end to make sure that the seam doesn't unravel, and that's a really important step to do at the beginning and the end of any seam that you sew. So one last thing I wanted to talk about is skipped stitches. Now I'm trying to do it on this machine. Skipped stitches is something you don't want to do. It's when you're sewing a seam and it ends up missing a few stitches because normally you're using the incorrect needle for the fabric that you're using. And for some reason I have the incorrect needle in, but it's still sewing fine. But if you notice that when you're sewing a seam, the stitches aren't consistent, it's probably because you need to change the needle you're using. So for in this instance, I've got some stretch fabric right here. As you can see, it's nice and stretchy. And traditionally, when you're sewing stretch fabric, you want to use a ballpoint or a stretch needle. It won't actually pierce the fabric. It will actually go in between the weave, which is what you want. So what I'm going to do is just bring this underneath. I've also set the stitch to a zigzag stitch because when you're sewing knit fabric, you want to use a zigzag or a stretch stitch. And I'm just going to sew a seam and show you what that looks like. So this is what that seam looks like. As you can see, it's actually not that consistent. I mean, it's not bad, but there are sections that are quite unneat, and that will definitely be because I have the wrong needle in my sewing machine. And again, if I looked over here and all of a sudden maybe this one was missing or a stitch right here was missing, that's also because you have the wrong needle in your sewing machine. If I also just try and show you this so it's lying flat, you can see the seam is actually quite wavy, and that normally happens when you're sewing stretch fabric and you've stretched it out by accident as you're sewing it. The easiest way I found to fix issues like this is actually just taking this to your iron and pressing it flat with your iron, because that will take out a lot of the waviness, and then also using interfacing on areas that need it to help it prevent it from stretching out. This is a ribbed knit fabric. You can see it has these like vertical columns, and that is probably the trickiest stretch fabric to sew with. If you're sewing things with jersey, you probably won't encounter issues like this. I hope that was helpful and gave you some really easy solutions to any sewing problems you might be having. Again, when you're new to sewing, things like this happen all the time, so it's helpful just to have a play with your sewing machine, have a play with the different settings, different fabrics to use with it to really understand what works with what. If you're new to sewing and you're looking for some beginner-friendly sewing patterns to try, I have a handful on my website, and I'll leave that link down below so you can have a go. Let me know in the comments if any of these really helped you, and I'll see you in the next one.